In the heart of downtown Los Angeles stands a building with a dark and storied past, the Cecil Hotel. For decades, it has been a magnet for the city's lost souls, a place whispered about in hushed tones, linked to mysterious deaths and notorious criminals. But no story is as perplexing, as chilling, as the one that unfolded in 2013. This is the story of Elisa Lam, a young woman whose final moments were captured on camera, creating a digital ghost that continues to haunt the internet to this day. Elisa Lam was a bright 21-year-old student from the University of British Columbia in Canada. Like many young people, she had a desire to see the world, to explore new places and document her adventures. She started a blog, a digital diary where she shared her thoughts, her poetry, and her struggles with bipolar disorder, a detail that would later become a focal point of the investigation into her disappearance in late January 2013. Her solo trip along the west coast of the United States brought her to Los Angeles and to the infamous Cecil Hotel. She checked in on January 26, initially sharing a room with others, but was later moved to a private room on the 5th floor after her roommates reportedly complained about some odd behavior. For a few days, her trip seemed normal. She was in daily contact with her parents back in Canada, calling them every single day. But on January 31st, the day she was scheduled to check out, the calls stopped. Elisa Lam had vanished. Her parents, consumed with worry, immediately contacted the Los Angeles Police Department. A search began. Police officers, aided by sniffer dogs, scoured the hotel room by room. They searched the rooftop, the basement, every corner they could access, but there was no sign of Elisa. It was as if she had evaporated into thin air. Her personal belongings, including her wallet ID and laptop, were all left behind in her room. The only thing missing was Elisa herself. As days turned into a week, then too, the case grew colder. The LAPD, desperate for leads, decided to release a piece of evidence that would turn this local missing person case into a global phenomenon. It was a video, a grainy, time-stamped piece of footage from one of the hotel's elevators recorded on February 1st, shortly after midnight. This video, just under 4 minutes long, would be watched by millions, dissected frame by frame by amateur sleuths all over the world. The footage is unsettling from the very beginning. We see Elisa wearing a red hoodie enter the elevator. She leans forward and presses a series of buttons, selecting multiple floors. She then retreats to the back corner and waits. But the elevator doors don't close. This is where her behavior becomes truly bizarre. She cautiously peeks out of the elevator, looking left, then right, as if checking for someone in the hallway. Seeing nothing, she quickly steps back inside, pressing herself against the wall, almost as if she's trying to hide from an unseen pursuer. Still, the doors remain open. She steps out into the hallway again, this time more boldly. She moves just out of the camera's view. Then she's back, standing by the elevator entrance. She begins to make strange, almost theatrical hand gestures. Her fingers are splayed, her arms moving in a fluid, unnatural way. It's difficult to interpret. Is she playing a game? Is she trying to communicate with someone? Or is she in the throes of a psychotic episode? She then walks away to the left, out of frame, and is never seen on camera again. A few seconds later, the elevator doors finally slide shut, then open again, then shut, then open again, as if the machine itself is glitched. The elevator then proceeds to travel up, stopping on several floors, its doors opening to empty hallways before the video ends. The footage was eerie, disturbing, and deeply mysterious. Who was she hiding from? Who was she talking to? Why wouldn't the doors close when she was inside? The release of the video ignited the internet. Theories exploded across forums and social media. Some believed she was being pursued by someone, a killer who was just out of the camera's view. The way she hid in the corner of the elevator certainly supported this idea. The fact that the doors would unclose led some to speculate that the pursuer was holding the door open button from the outside. Others pointed to the Cecil Hotel's haunted history. They suggested Eliza had encountered a paranormal entity. The hotel, after all, had been the temporary home of serial killers like Richard Ramirez, the Night Stalker, and had seen countless suicides and unexplained deaths over the years. Could Eliza have been another victim of the hotel's malevolent energy? A third, more grounded theory focused on her mental health. Elisa had been open about her struggles with bipolar disorder. Her strange gestures and erratic behavior in the elevator could be explained by a manic episode, possibly triggered by not taking her prescribed medication correctly. Perhaps she was experiencing hallucinations, seeing someone who wasn't really there. While the world was captivated by the video, a grim situation was developing back at the hotel. Guests began to complain. The water pressure was unusually low. Some said the water coming from the taps was discolored with a brownish tint. Others reported a strange, sweetish, and unpleasant taste. For over 2 weeks, guests had been drinking, bathing, and brushing their teeth with this water. On the morning of February 19th, a hotel maintenance worker was sent to the roof to investigate the source of the complaints. The hotel's water supply came from 4 large cylindrical tanks, each about 10 feet tall. Access to the roof was restricted with locked doors and alarm systems, making it difficult for anyone to get up there. The worker, Santiago Lopez, noticed that the hatch on top of one of the main water tanks was open. He climbed the ladder to look inside, and that's when he made the horrifying discovery. Floating face up in the dark water was the naked body of Elisa Lam. Her clothes, the same red hoodie and black shorts she was wearing in the elevator video, were found in the tank with her, covered in a sand-like particulate. It had been 19 days since she was last seen. The source of the hotel's water problem was now terrifyingly clear. The discovery of her body only deepened the mystery. How did she get there? The rooftop was supposed to be secure, and even if she managed to get to the roof, how did she get inside the water tank? The tanks were massive, and the lid on top was a heavy metal hatch that would be difficult for a single person, especially someone of Elisa's small stature, to lift and close from the inside. The official autopsy report released by the Los Angeles County Coroner's Office only added to the confusion. The cause of death was listed as accidental drowning, with her bipolar disorder listed as a significant contributing factor. The report stated there were no signs of physical trauma, no evidence of assault. Her toxicology report showed she had consumed her prescription medications, but there were no illegal drugs or alcohol in her system. The accidental ruling left many unsatisfied. If it was an accident, how did she climb a 10-foot tank, lift a heavy lid, get inside, and then somehow have the lid close on top of her? If she was having a manic episode and climbed in herself, wouldn't she have been able to get out? The tank wasn't even full, so she could have stood up. This is where the theories diverged even more. The official explanation suggests that during a psychotic episode, Eliza, perhaps believing she was being followed, fled to the roof for safety. In her altered state, she may have seen the water tank as a hiding place. She climbed in, and in the cold water, may have experienced hypothermia, which would have disoriented her and made it impossible to get out. She may have undressed inside the tank, a phenomenon known as paradoxical undressing, which can occur with severe hypothermia. As for the lid, some argue it could have been left open by a maintenance worker and simply swung shut after she was inside. But many people refuse to accept this. They point to inconsistencies. How did she bypass the locked and alarmed doors to the roof? Hotel staff insisted it was impossible, though others claimed the alarms didn't always work. What about the elevator? Some armchair detectives discovered that by pressing the door hold button along with the floor number, you can keep the doors open, which might explain part of Elisa's actions. But it doesn't explain her bizarre gestures or her panicked peeking into the hallway. To this day, the death of Elisa Lam remains one of the most chilling, unsolved mysteries of the digital age. Was she the victim of a terrible accident, a tragic casualty of her own mental illness? Or was there someone else in that hallway, a shadowy figure who followed her to the roof and was responsible for her death? Was it a crime so perfectly executed that it left no evidence behind? The grainy elevator footage is all we have, a silent, ghostly film of a young woman's final, perplexing moments. It offers no clear answers, only more questions that hang in the air unanswered years later. What do you believe happened to Eliza Lamb? Was it a tragic accident or something far more sinister? Let me know your theories down in the comments. And if you find these kinds of deep dives into mysterious cases fascinating, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next video. Thanks for watching.